It's my pleasure to talk to you today. Thanks for inviting me and giving me the chance to really present the services we offer, not only for EMBL, also for all external academic groups. So here you can see an overview of the campus we have in Heidelberg, and the red arrow basically highlights where we sit. Let me get laser pointers. So we are. This is the team, and we are led by Mikhail Savitsky, and we are 3 wet lab people. So Peer, Jenny, and myself, we take care basically of the whole sample prep and discussing and interacting with the customers. And then we have one computational scientist, Frank Stein, and he takes basically care for more in-depth data analysis, which I will focus later on in my talk. So this is like the common workflow we have. So first of all, we have a project discussion with our customers to really hear what they really want to do, to help with the experimental design, and also discuss basically the best strategy to get really the best out of their samples, and also to answer their biological questions. Then we take over for the sample preparation as soon as possible. So either they send a gel, or they do the IP and send us the eloates or cell pellets. So there are really different ways where we take over. So it's basically up to the discussion up front, and then we acquire the data on the mass spectrometers, also analyze the data and have also a discussion afterwards to really provide the whole package to our customers. And since we are a service unit, we also in the end have an invoicing for this. So the kind of services we offer are, for example, the intact mass measurements, where basically people can just measure intact proteins under denaturing conditions to just get an idea of the molecular weight. So this is just basically you get the molecular weight number as an outcome and not any sequence information from this readout. Then we have 2 InGel workflows. One is InGel digestion with a specific protease. For example, as you can see here in the gel image, you have done an IP and want to see your interaction partners, or you are specifically interested in one particular band of your purification, just want to check that you purified the right protein. And then we also have an NNC terminus determination, where we take advantage of the unspecific cleavage of hydrochloric acid, for example, to analyze partial proteolysis experiments to really see NNC termini of certain proteins, or for example, if you want to check if your expressed protein is runs a little bit lower, at which side it's truncated, if maybe the tag is missing or whatever. And then we also handle complex proteome samples, where we take mainly advantage of the SP3 protocol, which is a nice method to also work with MS-incompatible buffer systems, like with lots of detergents, high salt concentrations, even with Lemny buffer, to really work those samples up in solution without the need to run it on a SDS page, which is really nice. And this we can also combine with TMT labeling, so it's tandem mass tag labeling, which is a multiplexing approach in mass spectrometry in proteomics, which allows us to combine up to 11, nowadays also 16 different conditions, which I will show you later an example for the invoicing. And then we also have a secretome workflow, basically to analyze secreted proteins into cell culture medias, where we take advantage of the Amicon spin filter tubes, where we also then concentrate the media in there. We can do the whole sample processing up to the digestion in that one tube, and collect the peptides afterwards and measure them. Then currently only for EMBL and internals, we offer also a cross-linking mass spectrometry workflow for non-cleavable cross-linkers, which mainly gives an add-on for our structural biologists, and gives another complementary method to really solve protein complexes. And currently ongoing is the establishment of a phosphoproteomics workflow using the iron IMAC enrichment workflow. As I said, it's in the establishment phase, but that we can also offer this to the community. Then this is the instrumentation setup we have. So we have 2 QX Active Plus systems and 2 Orbitrap Fusion Lumos, which are our main workhorses. Then we have 1 Q12 Premier for the intact mass measurements. And then we also have 2 offline HPLC systems, which we use, for example, for high pH reverse phase fractionation. So to lower, to really go deeper into proteomic data sets. For example, if you have lysates and you have a single shot analysis, you maybe identify up to 3,000 proteins. But if you fractionate those samples into 12 fractions, you can go much deeper into the proteome and identify up to 8,000–9,000 proteins. And then we also use that system for peptide size exclusion chromatography for enriching cross-link peptides upfront the mass spectrometry. And as I said, 1 Dionex we have now set up only for the IMEC enrichment workflow to really have 1 system for phosphoproteomics. We also offer data analysis. As I mentioned, we have a computational scientist, Frank Stein, and we also do a bit more than usual. We also have experimental specific data analysis. We offer also network and cluster analysis and also statistical evaluation. For example, for gel band analysis, you would get something like this, like a sequence alignment plot, where you can basically see which peptides of a certain sequence were found, to also see the mapping overview, and also for, let's say, IP and different conditions comparisons. We also support you with some representation of the data, like volcano plots with annotation already of a hit candidate or no hit, that you can already see what is the interesting part of your data set, that we do also heat map analysis and also correlation plots, that you basically get an easy dive into your data and see immediately some hits you might follow up on. And as I said, as last but not least, the invoicing. So we only charge for consumables and also for measurement time, so for nothing else. And an example here is, for example, the full proteome analysis comparing 10 different conditions using the TMT multiplexing approach, which is in the end 2,070 euros, but you only pay for the TMT reagent, for the sample cleanup, for the fractionation, and then also measurement time. And when you see that you can compare already 10 different conditions with that, or already like wild-type mutant comparisons and triplicates, I think that's very decent, and always data analysis is included in that. And we are really happy if you reach out to us to discuss certain projects, and we can also give you always a quote beforehand and calculate costs if needed. And with this, I thank you for your attention and happy to take any questions.